I have complete control over my dreams. I am a pretty average Irish person who you wouldn't even notice in a crowd. The only thing that is special about me is that I have a weird power to control my dreams. Anything that happens in my dreams ends up happening in real life as well. I first noticed this when I was 15, and I dreamt that a plane would crash into my school. The next morning I was dragged out of bed by my sister to watch the news. A Boeing 747 had flown miles off course and destroyed our school, killing all of the passengers on board. At the time, I just wrote it off as a coincidence. We were forced to switch to another school a few miles away, in another town called Kells. I hated the new school as the original students treated us like dirt and laughed at our misfortune. We were only there for a few months before a temporary school was set up in our hometown. I was beyond relieved to not have to go to that school again. A few nights later, I dreamt that another plane crashed into the school in Kells. I awoke the next day and ran to check the news, but nothing had happened. I went to school, and it was nearly the end of the day before the news broke. A plane had hit the school during the middle of the day and killed everyone on board, as well as everyone in the school. There was a memorial held that evening, but I didn't bother attending as I wanted to see what else I could do with these powers. I spent the next few months learning to know when I am in a dream. It was so much fun and so exhilarating doing this. I decided to try out my powers on my father. I broke his leg in my dream, and I was awoken the next day by his screams of agony. I smiled as I lay in my bed, knowing I could do whatever I wanted. I remembered every slight that was ever directed towards me and repaid it in full. I maimed and killed so many people that people began to leave our hometown in fear. My father caught the brunt of my anger, as he always used to bully me growing up. I took great pleasure in telling him that I was responsible for all of his injuries. I could see the fear in his eyes as he realized what I had become. I warned him that I had set it up so that he could never hurt me unless I wanted him to. He smiled at me as he told me not to think of him slitting my throat, and I just laughed at him. I have now been lying in my bed for hours and am afraid to fall asleep, as all I can think about is my father walking in and slitting my throat.